from my great state, Indiana, and there is nothing that Indiana and Lord Chippy like, well, like least than, someone trying to pull a little bit of shenanigans on, old lady justice, old blind lady justice, and someone tries to trick them. We get a little irritated. But from my home state and Lord Chippy, let's continue. A so a man was, accused of murder. Now prosecutors have found, evidence of a chilling plot to frame this person. After initially arresting a man in connection with the murder of an Indiana woman, authorities have said that he was framed and have charged another suspect with the unaliving. Police originally, arrested Sean Bailey in connection with the April 14th unaliving of Wilma Robertson, 35, who was found stabbed in her home in Hanover, Indiana, according to Jefferson County Prosecutor's Office. But subsequent DNA testing excluded Bailey, 33, of Louisville, Kentucky, as a suspect, and he was released and charges were dropped. Now, prosecutors say the investigation led police to Nigel Thomas, 34, who they alleged not only killed Robertson, but staged an elaborate plan to frame Bailey. Quote, Thomas fabricated evidence to incriminate Sean Bailey, including the creation of multiple social media accounts in Bailey's name, prosecutor's office said. Well, that counts me out. I can't even figure out my own daggone social media. Looks like I'm going to have to stick with, not doing crime so I don't have to frame nobody. I mean, it's been a streak for, daggone all of my life. I think I'll keep the streak up. So Thomas used those accounts then to send messages out to relatives of Robertson purporting to be Bailey and admitting to the murder. Okay, this is not elaborate. This is like finger painting, this is like the, maybe grammar school level of framing. This is not Master Mensa level. This is not MIT, like Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise hanging from the ceiling, to frame OJ kind of thing. That being said, it is Indiana, so this is somewhat of an elaborate plot. Now, Thomas, an Ohio resident, was arrested and charged with the murder. It is not immediately clear if he has retained an attorney, remained and, exercised his right to remain silent or even entered a plea. Now, I'm guessing he has the right, not the ability to remain silent, like most of us do. But there you have it. The criminal justice system is ultimately the search for the truth, or your truth if you're Brennan. Now, Jefferson County Prosecutor David Sutter said in a statement, multiple agencies across 3 states have worked tirelessly in their pursuit of all investigative leads to uncover the crimes of Nigel Thomas and clear Sean Bailey. Now, according to GoFundMe, Robertson was the mother of 2 young children. So again, an incredibly sad story of this woman losing her chance at life and someone going to great lengths to not take responsibility for it kind of pisses me off. Now, I don't know what the hell is wrong with females lately, but fix yourself, female humanity, because I don't have time nor the actual ability to deal with all of your stupid. But what is up with all of these females becoming predators? Or did we always have a bunch of female predators and I was simply unaware because the stereotype, the cultural zeitgeist is that all predators are male? Because have we been ignoring a large predatory community because they have boobs? If so, no. What is wrong with people? Lord Chippy, she awaits. While playing a video game, a nurse allegedly caught having relations abusing her 15-year-old stepson. When husband came home from work, she got her license suspended. I don't even know what I mean, this is how you get final form Jesus down here, and I'm already told you people, I'm not gonna be stuck here with Nicolas Cage making Left Behind movies, it's just not gonna happen. I just will not allow it, but this is how we get final form Jesus, ma'am. A Florida woman, are we shocked, had her license for nursing suspended last week as she faces criminal charges for having abused her 15-year-old stepson, according to state records. Alexis Von Yates, 35 of Ocala, sorry, was temporarily shelved by the Florida Department of Health, which issued an emergency suspension order on Friday morning, according to online DOH records. Now, she has been operating under a single state license as a registered nurse since 2016, per the DOH. Yates was arrested last year and charged with battery of a child between the ages of 12 to 16 of a gross nature. And thank you, YouTube, for making me have to use, language creoles, colloquialisms, and everything else in order to, I don't know, talk truth to truth. But okay, thank you so much for making this, not that you would stop NBC, CBS, or, the CBC, but the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, but, you'll stop little people like Mo and, well, big people like Tim Pool. We're not really the same species, if I'm honest. But that being said, I wish I could just call words words and not worry about my, getting dinged for them. Now, she was allegedly caught, abusing her husband's biological son in July 2024. An anonymous tip led to Yates being probed and arrested. Now, probed might not be the word I would use here, but I kinda hope she was, well, allegedly in Minecraft. If you violate someone else's, dignity, I'm kind of okay with an eye for an eye. Allegedly in Minecraft, I'm not in charge of laws, so, it is what it is. I can have my hopes and dreams and still not be in charge of laws. Now, during police interviews, the victim allegedly said he was on vacation and visiting his father for the summer when the abuse started. Quote, his father worked late hours as a lineman, Yates' arrest affidavit said. The child victim was hanging out with his stepmother while she was taking care of his younger siblings, and around 11 p.m., the two of them began relaxing on a couch, hitting a THC cartridge together while playing video games. Several hours later, they decided to watch a movie. No, you don't give a young child who doesn't have a developed brain, um, the devil's lettuce. I don't care if they are going to procure it on their own with their friends. You, as a parent, do not give that to them. Step parents are included. Now, according to the affidavit, the teen and Yates both thought that the movie was boring, so they started to talk about other things. The DOH emergency order also outlines what allegedly went on between the two of them as well. Now, Miss Yates told the underage boy that she was quote unquote horny. The DOH officials allege in the order the victim, look, it goes on from there. Basically, they did engage in acts, including the full shebang, bang being implied. Uh, just grossness, just all the grossness. Now, the teen allegedly told police that Yates had been making inappropriate jokes for approximately a week prior to the incident. Nurses are placed in a position of trust the DOH order changes or charges. Therefore, it is imperative that they demonstrate good judgment and moral character. Mrs. Yates' decision to engage in abusive behavior with a minor child and or her decision to allow the child to no, the child didn't do anything to her. She encouraged it. We are not pushing this back on this young man. Hell no. Department of Health, you absolute scumbags. Allowing this child to do things to her? No, she encouraged it, and it's never on the child to stop anything. This is abuse. This isn't something he just, again, however you want to see it. This is a child being groomed, encouraged to do something to an adult. This is not a child who took it upon himself to do stuff. because he would have never crossed that line if she hadn't given him the, old, "Come on in, the door's always open, I'll keep a light on for you," like Motel 6. Now, the DOH officials went on to say that Yates' continued practice as a nurse presented immediate and serious danger to health, safety, and welfare of the public, which is why she was ultimately suspended. Thank you, Jeebus. A proceeding seeking former discipline of Yates's license to practice nursing in the state of Florida will promptly be instituted and act upon as at the state's earliest convenience. Now, Yates has not pled to her charges, and attempts by Law and Crime to get her for further comment on Tuesday were unsuccessful. Ma'am, I would keep my head down and on a swivel until I go, especially when I go to Gen Pop. I would tell no one why you are there. I mean, make up a crime, come up with something real stupid, but I wouldn't tell them that I'm in here for this, 'cause, I have heard that prisons are not a good place if you are mean and ugly and hateful to children or gross to children. It is not everywhere you want to be. Bon voyage, sweetheart. Drop the soap or don't. It's kind of your personal thing. I really don't give a rat's rah-rah. You're a gross, disgusting human being. Not all people should be allowed near children. And if that applies to you and you have boobs, I am an equal opportunity, keeper of gross people away from children. So I don't care. I am equal opportunity. If you are gross to children, stay the hell away. That's all for today. Lord Chippy awaits because there is always new justice to find and new gross pieces of human dumpster trash to just discover. It is the internet, baby. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire because kindness isn't doormat and we don't tolerate this kind of behavior. No, we don't. Not anymore, not ever. We really didn't. We just weren't aware. And if you happen to be a gross predator and you have boobs, I'm here to call you out. Bye, you guys.